Caitlin Clark just said something that lit the WNBA conversation on fire, and it has everything to do with Kelsey Mitchell, Unrivaled, and what's really going on behind the scenes. Because let's be real for a second, when Caitlin Clark speaks, the league listens. Even when she's not on the court, even when she's rehabbing, even when she's staying completely out of the noise. And this time, it was just 4 words. Let's go kill, Kels. That comment, simple, supportive, almost casual, instantly became gasoline on an already raging fire.
All right. The GOAT, CC, Caitlin Clark, had some things to say. Obviously, we saw the cryptic message Kelsey Mitchell put out there. Kelsey, you got to stop doing the cryptic messages, bro. You know it's going to stir the pot, girl. Come on now, Kelsey. I don't believe Kelsey is going anywhere. She is going to be an Indiana Fever. We got to get to what Caitlin Clark had to say, though. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video for your boy.
Because Kelsey Mitchell had just dropped one of those classic cryptic posts. You know the type, eyes open, mouth closed. No explanation, no context, just vibes and chaos. And WNBA fans did what they always do. They assumed the worst. Is Kelsey Mitchell leaving Indiana? Is there tension behind the scenes? Is this another star quietly preparing an exit while the Fever are finally building momentum? And then Caitlin Clark stepped in. No subtweet, no long statement, no press release, just support.
Here it says, Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark may not be playing competitive basketball this WNBA offseason, but she's clearly ready to cheer for her teammates as they suit up in other leagues. Clark, who played in just 13 games. That's so sad, by the way, bro. After her rookie year, we sat around all winter, all fall, all winter, all spring, waiting to get to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA season so she could cook these chicks. We was waiting and waiting and waiting.
But don't get it twisted, this wasn't random, this wasn't accidental, and this definitely wasn't meaningless. Because while Caitlin Clark is staying far away from Unrivaled on the court, her presence still looms over everything connected to it. The league wanted her, the media tried to use her, the narratives followed her, and she shut it all down. Yet here she is, backing her teammates' new chapter. And that's where this story gets uncomfortable. Because this isn't just about Kelsey Mitchell playing 3-on-3 basketball.
Due to multiple injuries, did not join. It says Clark, who played in just 13 games in 2025 due to multiple injuries, did not join the 3-on-3 Unrivaled League, despite reportedly being heavily pursued. There was speculation she would join in 2026 after opting not to participate in its inaugural season. Now, we know Caitlin Clark has dubbed Unrivaled every year. All the way, they tried to use Caitlin Clark so much after her rookie year, she had to put a stop to it.
This isn't just about Unrivaled, and this definitely isn't just about a comment on Instagram. This is about loyalty, leverage, power struggles, and a league caught in the middle of an identity crisis. So today on Her Hoops, we're breaking down what Caitlin Clark's message really means, why Kelsey Mitchell's move matters more than people think, and how all of this connects to the bigger battle threatening the future of the WNBA. Stay locked in. Like, comment, subscribe, because once you see the full picture, you won't look at this situation the same way again.
Here's a look at the most significant moments in labor talks between the WNBA and WNBPA in 2025. Now, we know there's been so many things that have happened, man, from before when, like, and she starts it off right here, the new year. The 2025 calendar kicked off with the debut of Startup League 3-on-3 Unrivaled in January, co-founded by WNBPA executive leaders. See, that's a problem right there. That is what I'm talking about.
To understand why Caitlin Clark's 4-word comment matters, you've got to zoom out, way out, and look at the landscape of the WNBA right now. Because this league, it's not just in an off-season, it's in a power struggle. Start with Kelsey Mitchell. She's not just another scorer. She was the leading scorer for the Indiana Fever, putting up 20 a night on efficient shooting, quietly consistent, rarely dramatic, which is exactly why that cryptic post hit so hard.
Inaugural season started. You had Angel Reese on her podcast saying that Unrivaled was going to be the only league players ended up playing in. Just for her not to end up playing in year 2. She skipped out on year 2. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I mean, man. It's been a lot of foolishness going on. And then Nafisa Collier was quoted as saying, we didn't plan the league based on CBA negotiation. I think it did have a part. I think because y'all have clearly tried to use Unrivaled as leverage. the whole time.
When a player like that suddenly goes vague, fans know something's up, except here's the twist. Nothing might actually be up at all. Kelsey Mitchell joining Unrivaled doesn't mean she's leaving Indiana. It doesn't mean she's unhappy. It means she's doing what most WNBA players have been forced to do for years: find off-season reps, money, and visibility somewhere else. And that's where Caitlin Clark enters the picture. Clark's rookie season was supposed to be a coronation. 40-plus games of fireworks, sold-out arenas, a league riding a generational wave. Instead, injuries. 13 games. 13! Let that sink in. Fans waited all year to watch Caitlin Clark cook and got a sample size smaller than a preseason schedule. And while Unrivaled aggressively chased her, used her name, floated rumors, and let speculation run wild, she said no. Twice. That wasn't an accident. Caitlin Clark understands leverage. She understands branding. And more importantly, she understands timing. While Unrivaled positioned itself as a player-first alternative, the WNBA and the Players Association were already drifting toward a collision course over a new collective bargaining agreement. And here's where it gets messy. Unrivaled wasn't just launched by players, it was co-founded by active WNBPA leadership. That means the same people negotiating with the league also had financial stakes in a competing product. In any other business, that's a red flag. Yet players were encouraged to treat Unrivaled as leverage, as an escape hatch. Some even said, publicly, that it could replace the WNBA entirely. Fast forward, reality hit. Not everyone returned. Not every promise aged well. And the league found itself more fractured than unified. So when Caitlin Clark publicly supports Kelsey Mitchell, while staying completely detached from Unrivaled herself, it sends a very specific message. Support your teammates, protect your body, and don't confuse opportunity with loyalty. Because right now, the WNBA isn't just negotiating contracts, it's negotiating its future. Now let's break this down piece by piece, because the details here matter more than the headlines. First, Kelsey Mitchell's move. She joins Unrivaled, new team, new jersey, new caption. Instantly, people jump to conclusions. But let's be clear, this is not a breakup announcement. This is an off-season assignment. 3-on-3, short format, controlled minutes, less wear on the body. From a basketball standpoint, it makes sense. Mitchell gets reps, she stays sharp, she adds another layer to her game. Spacing, quick reads, scoring in tight windows. And she does it without risking a full overseas grind. Now look at Caitlin Clark's role in all of this. She doesn't repost. She doesn't hype the league. She doesn't show up courtside for cameras. She does one thing: supports her teammate. That distinction is everything. Because Caitlin Clark has drawn a very clear line. She's not anti-player. She's not anti-opportunity. She's anti-being used. And after an injury-riddled rookie year where her name drove ratings, clicks, and revenue, she barely got to enjoy. That boundary matters. Remember, Unrivaled pursued her hard. The rumors didn't stop. The speculation didn't stop. Eventually, Clark shut it down publicly. Not passive, not vague, clear. And yet, when Kelsey Mitchell steps into that same league, Clark doesn't flinch. Why? Because this isn't about Unrivaled, it's about trust. Kelsey Mitchell has been steady in Indiana. She didn't fuel rumors. She didn't throw shade. She didn't posture for leverage. She played. She scored. She led. So when Mitchell posts, eyes open, mouth closed, Clark doesn't interpret it as drama. She reads it as focus. That's leadership. Now zoom out again. The WNBA is heading into one of the most important CBA negotiations in its history. Players want more money, better conditions, and a bigger share of the growth. Fair. But leverage only works when it's unified, and right now, it's fragmented. Unrivaled exists in that fracture. Some players see it as empowerment. Some see it as insurance. Some see it as a threat. Caitlin Clark? She sees the chessboard. She supports her teammate without endorsing the system. She stays quiet without disappearing. She protects her health and her value. And that's why 4 words from her Instagram comment carried more weight than a dozen press releases. Because in this moment, Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's setting the tone. Here's where the plot thickens, and where things start to get really uncomfortable for the WNBA. Unrivaled, the so-called Player First League, was pitched as the future, a platform for athletes to take control, to earn more, to play differently, to change the narrative. Sounds perfect, right? Until you look at who's running it. Co-founded by active WNBA executives, leaders already negotiating on behalf of players, people with direct financial stakes in a competitor. In any other industry, that's a massive conflict of interest, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. So while Unrivaled positions itself as liberation, it also creates tension, because suddenly, the league you're supposed to be negotiating with, the one that sets salaries, the one that provides structure, exposure, and legitimacy, looks like the bad guy if you choose to participate in the new league. And players are forced to pick sides, even if subtly. Enter Caitlin Clark. She's not participating, she's recovering, she's protecting herself. And in doing so, she quietly highlights a contradiction. You can support your teammates without signing on to every player-first narrative or hype campaign. You can stand for your squad without undermining the league that gave you your platform. And then there's Kelsey Mitchell. She steps in. She's ready to compete in Unrivaled, and she's publicly supported by Clark. That combination? It makes a statement louder than any headline. We can do both. We can thrive individually while still valuing our roots. We can play in new arenas without burning bridges. We can challenge the system without rejecting it entirely. The tension here? It's everywhere. WNBA fans are split. Some see Unrivaled as a lifeline. Others see it as a threat. Meanwhile, the league itself is negotiating a new CBA, a transformational deal that could set the foundation for the next decade. And the timing couldn't be messier. Unrivaled launched before negotiations even began, giving players leverage, yes, but also exposing fractures in strategy, loyalty, and unity. Clark's support of Mitchell isn't just a teammate gesture, it's a strategic signal. Loyalty can exist without compromise. Focus matters. Boundaries matter. And leadership often comes in subtle, understated forms. Meanwhile, the media eats it up. Every cryptic post, every comment, every appearance, every absence. And fans? They speculate endlessly, creating a storm that makes the drama feel bigger than it is, when the reality is simpler, smarter, and far more intentional. Bottom line, Caitlin Clark's comment might have been 4 words, but the implications ripple through the entire league. It exposes the contradictions, highlights the tension, and underscores the delicate balancing act every WNBA player faces in 2026. Because at the heart of this, it's not just basketball, it's politics, it's power, it's personal branding, and it's about navigating a system that's evolving faster than most fans can keep up with. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts, the part that actually tells you what's going on the court, behind the scenes, and in the minds of these players. Starting with Kelsey Mitchell. She led the Indiana Fever in scoring last season with 20 points per game on 45% shooting. That's elite-level efficiency. That's consistency night in and night out. And now she's bringing that scoring ability into Unrivaled, a high-pressure 3-on-3 environment where spacing, quick reads, and clutch decision-making are amplified. Think about it. 3-on-3 isn't just half the players. It's half the space, twice the speed, and 0 room for mistakes. If Kelsey Mitchell thrives here, she proves she's not just a WNBA scorer. She's a versatile, adaptable, game-changing athlete. And Caitlin Clark's support isn't just friendly chatter, it's a nod to that potential. Now let's look at Clark herself. Coming off a rookie season cut short to 13 games due to injuries, she spent months focused on recovery, conditioning, and mental preparation. She's not just physically healing, she's rebuilding her approach to the game, understanding her value in every scenario, on court, off court, in media, and in league politics. Her refusal to join Unrivaled wasn't about avoiding competition, it was strategic preservation, and it's a lesson in career longevity that most casual fans don't see. Then there's the team dynamics. Mitchell's joining Hive BC, a brand new squad with players like Sonia Citron, Easy Magagor, Natisha Haidam, Anaya Rivers, and Mo Billings, all under coach Rina Wakama. That's not just a group of talented athletes, it's a mini laboratory for chemistry, leadership, and adaptability. Caitlin Clark's public endorsement sends a signal to teammates and opponents alike. This team has credibility, and these players are backed by the best. And don't sleep on the subtle messaging. Clark's comment wasn't just support, it was leadership in action. She chooses her battles. She knows when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to guide without overshadowing. That's a skill that translates on the court, in locker rooms, and even in negotiations with league leadership. Finally, consider the timing. Unrivaled kicks off January 5th. Mitchell's debut will be scrutinized from every angle. Fans, media, even league executives will watch every pass, shot, and defensive rotation. Clark's endorsement? It's a psychological edge. It's saying, "We believe in her, watch her perform." And in a league where perception is power, that's massive. Here's where things start to get really big picture. Because this isn't just about Kelsey Mitchell dropping into Unrivaled or Caitlin Clark making a comment on Instagram. This is about the culture of the WNBA, the future of player empowerment, and the league's ongoing identity crisis. First, let's talk visibility. Players like Mitchell and Clark are no longer just athletes, they're brands. Their decisions off the court ripple across social media, sponsorships, and fan engagement. When Caitlin Clark publicly supports Mitchell's move, it validates the platform while simultaneously reinforcing boundaries. It's a delicate dance. Show up for your teammates, but don't overextend yourself into every outside venture. That's a lesson young players are watching closely. Next, consider the impact on the league itself. The WNBA has been navigating the largest labor negotiation in its history. Players opted out of the existing CBA seeking transformational change. And during that process, Unrivaled popped up as a player-first alternative, co-founded by active union leadership with the potential to distract, fragment, or even undermine league negotiations. Clark's strategic decision to sit out while supporting teammates sends a message about priorities. You can pursue new opportunities without destabilizing the league. It's leadership without chaos. Then there's the narrative around loyalty. Fans love drama, and social media thrives on speculation. But Clark and Mitchell are flipping the script. Mitchell can explore new opportunities, hone her skills, and take on a new challenge, while Clark reminds everyone that loyalty isn't about appearances, it's about trust, focus, and respect. That subtle distinction could reshape how players approach off-season play for years to come. Finally, think about the psychological impact on younger athletes and fans. We're talking about a generation watching not just the game, but how elite athletes navigate opportunities, setbacks, and media pressure. Caitlin Clark modeling smart decision-making and measured support teaches far more than scoring averages ever could. It teaches strategy, patience, and foresight, the kind of intangibles that build dynasties. At the end of the day, this moment isn't just a comment. It's a microcosm of everything happening in women's basketball today. Balancing individual growth with team loyalty, navigating competing leagues, handling public scrutiny, and negotiating your own value. Every move has weight, and Clark and Mitchell are proving that smart, deliberate choices can speak louder than any headline. So, let's bring this home. Caitlin Clark supporting Kelsey Mitchell in Unrivaled is more than a teammate moment. It's a statement, a blueprint, a subtle power play that demonstrates how elite athletes can navigate opportunity, loyalty, and strategy all at once. Think about it. Clark's rookie year was supposed to be a breakout. Fans were hyped. Media outlets were clamoring. And then injuries cut it down to 13 games. She could have stayed bitter. She could have played every media angle for attention. She didn't. She focused on recovery, on preparation, on protecting her career. And now? She supports her teammate without getting dragged into drama. That's leadership. That's wisdom. That's a star who understands the long game. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell steps into a new arena, Hive BC in Unrivaled. And she's not just playing basketball. She's sending a message. I'm committed to growth. I'm adaptable. I'm ready for challenges. And I still respect my roots in Indiana. The synergy between these two athletes isn't just inspiring. It's strategic, it's empowering, and it shows a new way to approach the WNBA and women's basketball as a whole. And let's not ignore the broader story, the league itself. The CBA negotiations, the rise of alternative leagues, the media speculation. All of it is part of the pressure cooker that defines professional women's basketball today. Yet in the middle of it, Clark and Mitchell remind everyone that integrity, focus, and loyalty matter more than headlines. That's a lesson that could redefine how players, teams, and fans navigate this ever-evolving landscape. So here's the takeaway. 4 words on Instagram, hundreds of pages of headlines later, and the underlying story is crystal clear. Support, strategy, and smart decision-making will always outshine noise and drama. Clark and Mitchell are showing us exactly how it's done. And if you're a WNBA fan, a player, or someone who loves sports drama, you cannot afford to blink. This is the kind of story that defines a season. Not just points and stats, but alliances, decisions, and the subtle power moves behind the scenes. And trust me, the ripple effect from this is just beginning. If you're hyped to see how this unfolds, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to Her Hoops, hit the bell, and share this with every WNBA fan you know. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Mitchell will thrive in Unrivaled? Do you think Clark's approach is the blueprint for smart players moving forward? I want to hear it all. Because this isn't just basketball. This is a lesson in leadership, loyalty, and legacy. And it's happening right in front of our eyes.